And we are back. New Pack City, Hawks fans worldwide. Welcome back to your favorite weekly Hawks Hoopcast. It's Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. Game day versus Orlando. I go by Lou Starsky, aka chairman of the boards. And we have another great show for you. We're going to be talking about Trae Young's leadership and his maturity. We're gonna revisit the JC paradox, whether he is a true number two, or if we should look to trade him or bring in another number two. So we'll talk about that, and we'll also talk about Clint Capella's take on the Hawks' effort so far this season. We'll get into a little bit of that, and I definitely want to talk about DeAndre Hunter's development and if that is going to be an elephant in the room. And we have much more, but first, hit that thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. Follow the links in the description to support us. We are for the fans and by the fans. And with that out of the way, Mike, what's going on?
What it do? What's up, Luke?
Not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot. Just, riding this roller coaster of this crazy season, I guess.
Yeah, man. Shoot, am I echoing? I think I'm echoing. It's something I have to do.
Are you echoing?
Yeah. I sound good. I'm okay.
Yeah, you sound great so far.
Okay, all right, cool. But yeah, man. Yeah, let's get to these topics, man. Like you said, you got a good little slate for the people.
Well, yeah, for sure. Before we go on, what's up, Damon? Superstar Damon, what's going on? Got his own YouTube, and it is crack-a-lacking. You get it going on there.
Hey, man, I like that the Superman hat though.
Thank you, Mike.
Is that the?
I think he's working it out. He's working it out. Let's. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to share these games here, and I want us to talk a little bit about these games we just saw. We had the game against San Antonio to start it all off. So I want to get talking about that. What'd you see in that game, man? Like that, because this is the one that leads into, Trae Young having the comments that I really didn't care for. It's a game that we should have won. Dominique at the beginning of the broadcast said, okay, we played some tough games, but this is a game you got to take. And we didn't find a way to take it. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Man.
And Javon, whenever you're ready, chime in too. Go ahead, Mike.
I mean, ultimately, we're just a young team. When you think about the starters, that's 5 players. 3 out of 5, really 4 out of 5 are young players still trying to get experience. And Clint, he's a veteran, but it's not like he's that old anyway himself, though. But anyway, you're dependent upon Trae, DeAndre, Kevin Huerter, and John Collins. So, yeah, man, you're just going to keep having stupid situations like that until we mature and grow up. So,
right. What about you, Damon? You on?
Yeah, man.
What all did you see about in the San Antonio game?
What I saw in the same stuff I've been preaching for weeks now. We don't defend the perimeter at all. And, like I've been telling people, man, if you go back and you look at all our losses, and I think I told y'all earlier, I think I said it in the chat, I used to think it was the rebounding, but then I figured out, it's our perimeter defending. And if you notice, every team that we've lost to, just start with 2022, right? Every loss, besides the Celtic loss, that recent loss to the Celtics, we've allowed opponents to shoot over their average from 3.
Damon, can I ask you a question on that? Because you and I definitely kind of have a disagreement, just a small disagreement on this. Not terrible. I do believe that our overall production is very poor. But it's not, to me, it's not necessarily the skill of our perimeter guards or the people guarding. It's that we are getting caught out of position because of what we lack in the front court or what the advantages the teams can play. Like, it just seems like they get us moving around a lot. And if you're constantly, having to dip in and then run out to the perimeter, you're going to get a lot more open shots and it's going to look bad, like you're saying. But I don't think necessarily if we brought in another stud perimeter defender and everything else stays the same, that we're going to see much different of a result. It's just that it's the people aren't doing the effort of, they're committing too much to going in, and then not being able to get back out. It's a lack of understanding of how to run a team defense to me.
You could say that. You can also say it's a lack of players not having faith in each other's man defense.
Right.
Like, let's be honest here. You only go help when you think your homie can't guard somebody. If you think they can guard, you don't go help. But my issue was this. So Trae do it all the time, mainly because it seemed like he always stuck on just a spot up shooter, right? But he'll always try to cheat. And try to cheat on with whoever is in the lane, whether it's Capella, Big O, or Double O, whatever y'all want to call them, Collins. And I'm like, why are you doing that? There's no need to do it. Because my theory is this. Let Clint, I don't care who he playing against, Jokic, I don't care, Embiid, those players are going to get theirs if you double or not. So why cheat off the 3-point shooters, and they 37, 38% shooters? Why cheat off of them, right, when you not going to help anyway? Herder does it all the time also. And they never get anything out of it. And then if you go back and look at the game yesterday, just watch her, the Cavs, yeah. Watch Herder. It's sometimes where Herder is guarding Garland, and it's like he don't even make an attempt to stay in front of him. As soon as he get a step, half a step, Herder just gives up and just like, hey, Clint's in the middle, he'll handle it. And that's where we lack at, in my opinion. We lack in on-ball defending. Even the coach know it. That's why we go to a zone. I mean, how many NBA teams you see run a zone in today's NBA?
Not a lot, but not a lot of teams also have Trae Young as a defender. So, and we'll get into that a little bit differently, in a little bit here. I kind of want to more focus on just this game particularly, Damon. Did you see a lot of us missing out on giving up wide open threes, or were they just on fire from three? It just seems like the ball did bounce San Antonio's way a lot. And rewatching the game, I think we brought it back down. And then all of a sudden, they just really started hitting some really tough shots. Do you think our defense was the biggest factor in this game?
Yup. It was 100%. And I'm going to tell you why. I did a pregame video, and I said, you have to watch out for San Antonio. They're the number one team in assists. So they averaging almost 30 assists a night, which means that ball moves around. And we have to, as I always say in my pregame, limit the 3-point opportunities. And what happens is you let a team, or you let certain players, you let them get a rhythm. And then once they get it, Keldon Johnson, number one 3-point shooter, I put it out in my post-game video. You need to put Hunter on this guy. Bro, that dude got so hot. It got to the point.
I mean, it is just a high-arcing, beautiful shot.
Bro, it got to a point to where even his contested, he was so hot, we let him get so hot. Even the contested, he shot 1 3. It was so ridiculous. Hand in face. I mean, you couldn't play no better defense. Right. But by that time, these dudes was already cooking.
Right.
And I don't know. You could blame our defense on a number of things. You could say, maybe you could say Nate's scheme don't work. Maybe you can say our players not putting forth effort. Or you could just say, maybe our guys like Clint Capella saying, I think I will agree with this one the most. Their defensive IQ is just not there where it should be at. It's just like, if we playing ball, me, Mike, and you, right? We out there playing ball, right? And so Mike probably going to be the tallest. So if a dude try to post Mike up, man, I already know Mike can guard the dude, I'm not going to go help. But we do it anyway. That shows our lack of IQ, or you could say lack of faith in each other as far as defending the basketball. But, we still putting up 120 points. We just keep giving up 121 points, and that's a problem. If you go look at our point differential, bro, our point differential is plus 0-3, less than a point per game, bro. So, I mean, we can score the ball. We just can't stop the other team from scoring.
Yeah. Mike, what about you? What did you see in this game? Did you see just some young guys hungrier than us, or just us failing to execute? Because I mean, we brought it back a little bit, and then they just kind of exploded again. But did you see this coming as like the same way Demond did, or did you think we were going to win this game?
No, I didn't. I mean, I thought we would probably be closer or something like that. I didn't think it was a automatic book it that we'll win the game or something. I thought that we'll probably compete better, of course. But me with my fantasy stuff, like I think they had an over under for Murray having like 25 points. I took the over on that, and he got 30. He had like a 30-point triple double. Knew that was coming. Another thing, I took like Doug McDermott. I was like, I knew McDermott would get him some little shots. It'd be like a low key spot. So I mean, the people who played well for the Spurs against us, those I expected it. I really did. What I didn't expect, and the main issue is, like I said, you're hearing your star player basically saying, like, bro, I ain't want to play no more because they were hitting shots. Like, that's just, I don't even know.
Right. And we're going to get into that. I do have that lined up. So we will get into that a little bit.
You know what, Lou?
To me, that's like, I don't know, the essence of the season. Like, I ain't even finna go into breaking everything else down too much, bro. Like, just keep it 100, man. Like, I mean, we'll get into it, man, but.
Hey, let me tell you what else I noticed, Lou. Let me tell you something else I know. This is how I know our perimeter defense is jacked. Every game we play, unless the big is a superstar, right? Mike never picks them. He always pick wing players to ball out against us. You ever notice that yet? Mm-hmm. You notice that?
Oh yeah.
Unless it's an Embiid, Jokic, he always goes with the over on a wing player, bro. Never fails.
Yeah, man, it's pretty much money.
And what did you see in this Boston game? I thought the Boston game we played a lot better. We should have won that game. I thought we were in control.
For me, the Boston game, I wasn't too upset.
I wasn't upset with you.
After kind of like the Mavs game, upset about the Mavs. I wasn't too upset about it because I think we only gave up like 104 points. Again, you on the road. You got to kind of look at. I mean, I know people hate moral victories. We should have executed better. Trae shot bad. Y'all know what Trae does. He ain't finna let somebody else too much shoot down the stretch. He ain't have it. I mean, but you know how Trae is. Next night though, he dropped 41 or something like that. It was efficient. So it was just kind of one of those games or whatnot. I mean, we need every game possible because in Demond's famous words is we tricked off the first half of the season.
That's true.
Every game hurts. But like, at the same time though, it's like, it's nothing I don't feel like to get too down on. And I'm glad they bounced back and got a big home game. You know what I'm saying? That was a big game that they needed to get.
Yeah, I agree. And the home games are going to be crucial down the road. I think we have like exactly 25 games left. I think we have to finish 20-5 to compete for the 6th. And I think we have to finish 3 games above 500 to finish 500, right?
I don't know, but hey, that Celtic game, it never fails, bro. We got to stop giving up 40-point quarters.
It was ridiculous.
We lost in that third. It was crazy.
We gave up 40 points in the third.
But not even just the giving up point part. We didn't score either. Like, we went dead in that third as well. They played better defense on us, definitely. Like, if we're going to give up 40, well, then we need to
look at that. We're just running around.
You know what I'm saying? We can't be sitting there getting doubled up points-wise in productions because it was like 42 to like 20 something, 48 to 20 something in that third quarter alone. And yeah, that's where he lost it at. They literally flipped the 10-point deficit, didn't they? Like,
and then when you go to the Spurs game, guess what? First quarter, 42 points. But guess what? We played the Cavs last night and we only gave up 1 30-point quarter. We held them to under 30 for 3 quarters. And that's what I keep screaming defense, man. We can score the ball, man. But this is my logic, and y'all tell me if I'm crazy or I make sense. We're a jump shooting team. We already know that. We're a jump shooting 3-point team. So my logic is you're going to have nights where the ball not falling. So what keeps you from getting blown out when the shots are not falling.
Bruh.
In my logic,
Look.
it's you're gonna have to step up on the defensive end. That way, obviously, you're not going to hold nobody scoreless, but instead of being down 20 until when you get hot, you only down maybe 10 or 12.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But what happens with us, bro, we always we can't play a total game. It's either we actually played decent defense against the Celtics. We held them to low. I think they shot 30.
That was a big play right there.
I think they shot like 34% from three, which was below their average. But then we come out and we shoot worse, you know. And we the number 2 3-point shooting team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just games like that to where sometimes we just got to get A and B to go together. You know what I'm saying? If we hold them, then we gotta at least shoot better or at the same level as them.
Right.
You know. But it's boy, that defense, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
I agree. Well, what'd you think of our defense in this Cleveland game? I thought we put in a solid effort. I mean, you were saying that okay, well, let's see all the JC haters. How are we going to look? And I think we've looked pretty good without him. I hate to say this, but JC is like a glorified role player, and he's inconsequential to how we do as a team. Whether he's hot or not, he's not going to affect our outcomes of winning or losing. He's just there. That's what I see.
Well, you see that over that's a 2-game sample. I can give you a 25-game sample. I can give you a 25-game sample.
5-year sample.
I can give you a 5-year sample.
I can give you 25 games. I can give you 25 games in a row where we didn't have them and we look like complete garbage.
Man, bro,
but at the end of the day, bro.
No, he talking about when
at the end of the day,
suspended, man. That was not the same team or roster.
But at the end of the day, JC is a very important part of our team because if we have JC, we win that Celtic game. We shot terrible. You lose efficiency without JC. You see what I'm saying? You lose extra defensive help because Gallo don't give you that extra defensive help when he starts.
I don't know, man. I think JC's light in the pocket.
I challenge that.
I think JC's light in the pocket.
I had to challenge
but
that.
But at the end of the day,
make that a lock for that Boston game. But anyway,
I think go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry, I jumped in.
I jumped in myself. But at the same, it's just that you know where I stand. I just trying to get Damon to kind of just be open to it a little more. That's all it is.
Come on, let me say it like this, Damon. The perimeter defense that you're talking about, I think starts from the fact that JC can be moved around so easily down low, and I think the fact that he gets moved around.
No,
that's what I'm saying, man. Like that's getting off the point that I have as far as when it comes to JC.
Watch the games, bro. Herter, Bogey, they can't defend. They get ran by all the time.
First of all, that is to be expected in the NBA. In the NBA, the perimeter wing is going to win that battle more times than not. It's whether he has the confidence to take
them, though. I mean, yes, they do suck playing defense one-on-one, but also, too, though, JC suck at playing defense one-on-one. He can help when he come from weak side because he got athleticism to block a shot. And, yeah, Gallo can't do that. But one-on-one, really, all them boys suck playing defense, and that's the problem. Trae is the extra horrible one, and then you already got bad defenders trying to help another super bad defender or whatever. So, I mean, I agree with Damon saying, but all of them suck on defense. Really, I don't feel like Clint a good on-ball defender. Honestly, even though Clint got the nerves to say that he doesn't, I don't think he's a good on-ball defender.
Our only good on-ball is Double O.
Double O. And outside of that, maybe DeAndre. I mean, not maybe, but DeAndre is after that. But Double O is the best on-ball interior paint defender. Best perimeter defender is basically DeAndre. But at the same time, though, DeAndre got to get help because these other bad defenders starting to rub off on him a little bit.
Yeah, and then we also have DeLone.
That's what I'm saying, man. We are a bad defensive team. But what Clint Capella did say, which was correct, is we don't have enough defensive-minded players just on the roster, much less the starting lineup. So, I mean, he was exactly correct. But in my opinion, our defense starts at the wings. It's Herter, Bogey,
If he can
Hunter.
do that consistently, we're back to being a good team.
What, hit that three?
Just hit an open shot. He's missed so many key open shots. It's not even funny.
Well, I mean, that's what I've been saying, bro. We a jump shooting team. What are you going to do when the shots are not falling? You're
But
gonna
that's
have to
the
step
thing.
up on the defensive side of
But
the ball.
but even so though, bro, if you playing defense, you can play defense, but you still have to score. I agree with you.
Right.
I'm not knocking it, but at the same time though, this where the overall thinking mindset comes into play, and people have to get out of like, okay, John Collins is a great player, he's a great team player, he this and that and everything like that. All right. Fact of the matter is, man, John Collins is a trade piece and probably one of the most attractive ones. If you package him with the bogey or say a DeAndre or a Kevin Herter, you should be able to go get you something with some picks or something to go get you a legit star where that when we do bog down, you got somebody outside of Trae who can get theirs wherever they are on the court. They can go get theirs. Now, you can literally fill in JC type of role in a winning basketball way. I ain't saying you're going to see lobs, and I quote Chauncey, y'all want to be entertained, so take away the lobs if you're okay with that. And think about a PJ Tucker, a Bobby Portis, a Jay Crowder, just somebody, because you're playing with the Trae Young who can hit the open three when it's swung to them, and you just need them to play hard-nosed defense on ball. That would catapult the overall team to another point. That's what I'm saying. You probably have to use JC along with the bogey, or like I said, another one of these wing players to get ideally what we truly need. And you surround Trae and another true star with just hard-nosed defensive players that you can get a lot cheaper. You just need to put, like I said, so that's where the question comes in, is like, should we pay JC? Should we do this and that and everything like that? Because to me, it's like, I'm not necessarily seeing a championship roster.
Right. Neither am I.
We wasn't a championship roster last year. So it goes back, and that's why I tell people, talk to your general manager. He didn't have to extend Clint. He didn't have to extend Kevin Herter, which is a waste of money. He didn't have to extend John Collins. He could have traded John Collins. This all falls on the general manager. See,
Well,
I don't know why people don't call for his job.
Well, we'll get into that because there's actually a confusion
Number
as to
one,
who
I don't call for his job.
Hold on, we'll get into that because we have that lined up for the for a topic down the road or right down the road. We have to even decide who our general manager actually is, because I don't know if we forgot. It's actually Landry Fields. So, but my thing here, we're starting off into the first to the first topic, and that is Trae Young's leadership. Do y'all think Trae has some growing up to do, some maturity to get into this leadership, or do y'all feel like everything's okay with on that front? I mean, if here, let me get this off real quick. When asked Trae Young about the Hawks energy, he said that the Hawks have energy when it's hard to have energy when they're making shots and they're making runs, and we're just not making plays. So it's definitely tough to have a lot of energy. And this one, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way when it comes to his maturity and whatnot. What's y'all's take on that?
You want me to go first?
Sure.
My take on that is, to me, that's not a leadership thing. To me, what he just said was his will to compete was broken. They broke his ass. That's what they're saying. It's hard to get energy when they're making shots. I mean, bro, this the NBA. This ain't the first time Trae been on Atlanta Hawks and we done got our ass blown out. It ain't the first time. You still compete, though, because you have to understand, hey, shots fall. Sometimes they don't. But guess what? As a leader, listen, everybody's not a leader. But the good thing about leadership, it can be learned. It can be taught. The dude at Trae Young is what, bro? 22, 23?
Yeah,
I mean,
how many people
was
and we're going to get into that.
It's very few people who 23 years old who's in the leadership, who is a leader, unlike myself. I was a leader at 23. I was leading grown men at 23, okay? But everybody can't do it. So you got to give him time, man. Give
Okay,
him time.
but the thing is, like, people like Chauncey in our group have already, seen him for, for what he calls him, and he's now
Man,
monikered. He's now
Chauncey,
monikered the people that follow him without critiquing him, Tracy's and all of this other stuff. So this brings me to the other point: is it getting impossible to critique him? Are we building up camps where it's a pro Trae camp or a pro or anti Trae camp, or are we forgetting the fact that, hey, this is the Hawks team? Like, the criticism towards him is when he's inefficient.
Well,
That's the criticism.
You have fans of players, and then you have people like us who are Atlanta Hawk fans. And I don't have a problem blaming Trae when he fucking up at all. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the fact that, when you in the group, and like New Pac City, or you in the Hawks Nation where they got like 18,000, you're gonna see a lot of posts blaming everybody else except Trae Young, because they're not really fans of the team. And what I learned is you just got to ignore that. But you can ask those dudes a couple questions and you be like, yeah, he not a fan of the team. He supports the player, but not the team. And I think, Chauncey probably got caught up in seeing a lot of people blame everybody else but Trae, even though people like me, you, Mike, blame Trae all the time when he ain't playing. Hell, Trae, Mike just said he the worst defender on the team.
Yeah, right.
So,
this is kind of an unbiased opinion of what we have in Trae Young. So I want to play this, and I want to get y'all's immediate response to it.
Here's Trae Young. Had a great chat with his father recently. I said, what would you like people to know about your son? And one. He said Trae is at a point in his life right now, in his career, where, Doris, he's not trying to prove people wrong. He's trying to prove to the people who are close to him that they're right. Well, marinate on that.
Well, I'll say this, he's got nothing to prove on the offensive end. The guy is absolutely electric. He's got every shot. He's clearly a guy who has been undersized his entire career and figured out, okay, I can make all kinds of shots. I can finish left and right. I can shoot the floater. Here's where I'd like to see him have more of a chip. And here's where I would liken him to a guy he's talked about, Steph Curry. And it goes to something Draymond Green said about Steph Curry early in his career, where you would target Steph over and over, and it bothered him. And so what does Steph do? He gets in the weight room before games, after games. He's like, you're not targeting me anymore. I'm changing my body. I'm going to change my will. And that's the one difference. To me, as brilliant as this guy is, and he's brilliant, and I love watching him play. If you're Nate McMillan, you know what you need from Trae? You need this guy never to die on screens. You need this guy to sprint back in transition every play. Sell out on a closeout. Make sure the guys next to you understand how hard you're working defensively, because you know what you're getting night by night offensively.
Yeah, he's the barometer of this team. As he goes, so go the Hawks, and that's the next step in his development at that end of the floor. Just 23 years old. Atlanta in the middle of an 11-2 run. Young.
Well,
Man,
I think she nailed it, right?
She did, but I'm just like, we done said it 1,000 times. I done said it. Yeah, I don't know how many times since he been here, bro. Like you said, down screens, man. How many times we seen in Trae career since he been here? He get picked, like, bro, don't even attempt to get through that screen. It's just an automatic, like, or he don't even like, or sometimes I don't even explain, like, he don't even touch the person who's screening him, like, you know what I'm saying? He might take a step back from him or something, and then like he do dumb stuff like with dumb. I wanted to mention when Damon was talking about him helping. Why are you helping? Why are you helping like you fire on defense even to begin with, bro? Like, that's stupid anyway. Like, stuck on defense. So your focus need to be is just let me pay attention to my man in the corner. He do that dumb jump all the time. Like I said, like he's Gary Payton or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Helping off. And it's like, no, you're not, dog. Like, I need you to do basic, simple stuff. And we said plenty of times. Kevin Huerter said it in playoffs last year out his own mouth. We go as Trae go. He literally said it. Bro, how many times we got to say it? That's why a lot of times, man, like, I'm at the point now, it's like, man, I don't need too much want to even dive deep into everything else. Because, like, bro, Trae got to grow up. And, like, I mentioned it myself on my personal page saying that it might be best for us to miss the playoffs so Trae can learn the lesson. we know how Trae do when he feel disrespected and all that stuff. So he need to feel some type of way to sit there and really reflect over the season. Because it got me kind of concerned. I'm like, I don't want him to see too much success again. You feel me? Like, what the hell next season gonna be like? I don't want him to think that he can trick off 3/4 of the season again and then, like, try and make it happen or something like that. Like, bro, this is not how professional sports go. It don't work this way, So yeah, bro, she nailed it. I'm glad she said it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, bro, I feel like when Trae plays defense, we win 90% of the time. I dare to say every time, but I'll be somewhat realistic and say we win 90% of the time. But it's how often do we play defense for 4 quarters?
Well, I think Doris nailed it, but let's be honest. Doris ain't said nothing we ain't already said hundreds of times. He need to play defense. He need to get in the weight room. We've already said all this hundreds of times. With Doris Burke, if you're a Hawk fan, that what she said ain't nothing new at all. You feel me? But what we need to work on is making sure that Trae plays defense and everybody else plays defense. I mean, you see how just Trae being
Have an effort.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, I've been harping defense for I don't know how long. Right. Harping defense. We can score. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and so we actually got Chauncey here to defend his take on the people that are having a hard time criticizing Trae. What do you got to say, Chauncey?
Nothing.
All right, well, thank you for coming on the show, and that'll nah, for real, man.
I'm tired of talking about that shit. Yo, talking about it, motherfuckers get all offended and.
Well, can we just have an update? Like, can we just have an abbreviated version of what happened? Recap. So Trae had a bad game. He said some foul shit, and then people got in their feelings, and then you came out and said, "Hey, man, the people that are having a hard time criticizing Trae, they're creating a cult around him, right? Like, that's pretty much the premise. Is you're just saying they're Tracy's, is which I believe you called them, which I think is hilarious.
We can't call them Tracy no more. We need to grow up.
Well, I thought that was funny though, actually.
All that shit.
I know. I thought mine was funny, but Tracy's is hilarious.
all that shit that's been said about everybody else. Now, all of a sudden, you talk about Trae, you gotta grow up. Look here, I still say fuck him.
Gotcha.
Fuck him.
Gotcha. Well,
until he consistently do his job, like last night, he did his job. Then the whiners, the same crew, the whiners, they want to throw their little jabs now. They motherfucker ought to know me by now. You throw a jab, I'm gonna come back with a haymaker now. I let them have it. I ain't saying nothing. I just let them have their fun. Mr. Don't press in. Mr. Don't press in.
Who that Anthony Corey? That's Anthony Corey, ain't it?
Yeah, don't press in. He say so much dumb shit. You have to tell him don't press in.
Well, Chauncey, since I have you on the hot seat and you don't feel like divulging too much about Trae Young,
come on, go ahead.
Let's get into
I got about 10 minutes. I got about 10 minutes. We can get them the fuck up out of here. I got 10 minutes.
So let's get into this second topic, which is the JC paradox. It's we're revisiting it. He was our free agent, restricted free agent at the in our offseason. Mike and I harped and said, hey, look, after that great run, we felt that we could have packaged him with something else and gotten something more specific in here that helped help our team be better than we were this year, right? And everybody was kind of like, I think he could be a number 2. He's done so much, blah, blah, blah. And now we're back at the same thing where he's just not good enough to be a true number 2. And is he our best trade bait? Or do we just go out and try to get a number 2 and keep him here as well? Overpaid as he is.
That's tough. I mean, at the end of the day, man, the general manager, he got a tough job to do because it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you don't re-sign him, then here comes the narrative that's been following all Atlanta sports teams for the last 40 years. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay nobody. That's why we can't win. They don't want to pay nobody. Then when he decides to pay, he gets criticized for paying. I'm not gonna criticize him for paying. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna criticize the players for not earning their fucking money, and JC is part of that. I defend him sometimes. Sometimes I jump in his shit. Now to answer your question about him being the most valuable trade piece, I'm gonna tell you. See, that's where I differ from everybody. To me, everybody tradable. If it's gonna get us, I don't watch two ticker tape parades on TV in the last 90 days. I sure would like to watch another one, or another one or two. So if it involves us getting to the ultimate goal, and that's winning it, hey, to me, everybody tradable. Everybody. Yeah, that includes Tracy. Fuck her. Fuck her. Fuck her. I don't listen. Like I said yesterday, I'm an ATL lifer. Hey, I rock with all my ATL/Georgia teams. Hey, I stopped falling in love with players when Pete Babcock, like I said, did the unthinkable when he got rid of Jacques Dominique Wilkins. Hey, after that point, hey, I knew then I wasn't gonna put too much stock in it. Now, realistically speaking, we know Trae is not going anywhere unless he asks to be traded, and even if he asks to be traded, that's gonna cause a major rift. But in the grand scheme of things, hey, if moving John Collins gets us to a championship, then I pack his bags.
Well, do you think we're closer to? Do you think we'd be closer keeping him as a number 2 on our roster, or trying to trade for number 2? And I open this up for everybody. Damon, if you got something on this.
Well, I don't consider Collins a number 2. I don't look at it like that. I don't know why people keep forcing that, and I think the only reason people force that on him is because of his contract. Because nobody's saying he was a number 2 last year, or a year before that, or a year before that. So I think it's a narrative just being pushed on Collins. At the end of the day, with John Collins, hey, he does what we need on our team. It's the same way I felt about Al Horford. Al Horford, when he played for us, he did exactly what we needed. That affects what we do, not no other team. So I mean, to me, John Collins, it ain't his fault he got the deal. I'll blame all that. Anybody, and that's what I say. Anybody who upset about John Collins, go talk to your general manager. He had 4 years to trade him. 4 years to trade him. And that's what was funny. I was talking the other day, and I was speaking on when Travis said, yeah, John Collins sacrificed for the team. And it just clicked in my head. I was like, I bet you money. Him and his agent discussed some shit at the beginning of the season about that contract extent, that new contract. And I bet that's why Travis never made a move, because they had already had something worked out. If you do A, B, C, and D, I'm going to make sure you get signed. Because he could have easily traded Collins. Young talent, 20-10 talent, expiring contract. Why he didn't move him? And if you already know you don't think a player is worth $25 million a year, why would you keep him? That means if I think John Collins is worth $10 million, but he wants 25, I already know I'm not gonna give him 25, so I'm gonna trade him. So that's why I tell people, go blame your general. He didn't have to sign him. He didn't have to. Mm-hmm. But he knew. That's why I knew something was worked out, because once that trade deadline passed, he had no choice but to re-sign Collins. Because now he looks super stupid letting Collins leave for nothing. Zero zilch.
Hey, question though, man. But why you don't think John Collins is number 2?
Because I don't look at it like that, because when Nate McMillan said we don't run plays, we run off of action. What that tells me is now, besides Trae, because he's the primary ball handler, whose shot attempts is consistent? I mean, you could look at Collins. One day he'll get 15 attempts. Next game, 7. It's like that for everybody. From my standpoint is this: if we was running plays designed, then that's different, because now I know this dude is gonna get 20 shots tonight. What he gonna do with the 20 shots? Same thing with Hunter, who's due up for a contract soon. Same thing with Kevin Huerter. One day last night, what Kevin have? 5 shots. Game before that, 12.
But the only person I feel like that is probably that should get consistent shots is probably Kevin Huerter. And the only reason why he doesn't is because he lacked confidence. And then to think about outside of that, well, I won't say only, but in Bogey gonna jack his up, you know what I'm saying, when he get it. But like I mean, we differ in like, you know, that thought process. I mean, I personally feel like you don't shoot the ball when you're uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? If I'm playing with, you know, a lot of guys that are just better than me, beyond me, I ain't shooting the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? My shot attempt's gonna be lower. If I'm playing or I feel that I am at a certain level or point amongst the people that I am playing against and with and everything like that, like I'm gonna shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm playing ball. All right, I don't know how to explain. Like, all right, I'm not an NBA pro.
But let me say something, Mike.
Like you put me on the court real quick though. Like let me play ball with like a bunch of actual college players, D1, young, or some G leaguer guys and stuff like that. I'm barely shooting, bro. It's not until like basically I'm wide open. You feel me?
Okay.
But if I'm playing with a bunch of pickup type folks or whatever, you're gonna start seeing like, damn, bro, I ain't know Mike can dribble like that, or I ain't know Mike can do this and that. The comfort is different. You feel me? So it's like with me, the question is, do John Collins don't basically get the consistent attempts? Because I see him touching the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the comfort isn't there to always attack or to always create for himself in certain situations. So he just moved the ball back out and wait for it to become a more of a comfort situation for him, which is usually catching the lob or just on a simple catch and shoot, or his more ISO back so I could do my quick turnaround and shoot type thing. But if he getting it more of an emotion and he moving or whatever, and it's a perimeter type thing, in which is he slowly increasing, I give him credit, trying to do it and everything like that. But I'm just saying that his shot attempts, even the DeAndre Hunter, let me get off of John Collins. DeAndre Hunter shot attempts can come way more consistent and he can get more of them if DeAndre Hunter become a better ball handler and dribbler. But DeAndre cannot dribble and cross majority small forwards, bro, and get his own jump shot off of him. He don't have that. He cannot switch from right hand to left hand or do a step back and create his own jump shot. He can't. So therefore, his shot attempt's not going to be there because he can't necessarily do it. So we have to work him open more. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So it's more of a. So yeah, you're right. So if we don't run the play, so that's my thing too. Is like I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, but I'm saying that it's not necessarily a knock on coaching because I feel like that's what happens at the pro level. They don't necessarily do the play stuff. It's more of a feel to understand. Because like think about the Phoenix Suns or whatever, and Chris Paul does do a better job than Trae running the thing or whatever. But Devin Booker can score wherever the hell he wants to when he got confidence to do it. It ain't no question if that boy comfortable wherever he had on the court. So that goes back to the thing. Then do we need to package folks to go get us somebody who truly comfortable? I felt like Sabonis is somebody who comfortable on the court.
I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit. I don't believe the confidence is the issue. I believe that, you know, your example makes sense because we're not professional players. We don't get paid to play the game. But my thing is this: you are into art designs, right? You got plenty confidence no matter who is in the room. So you telling me if you was in a room with another designer, say whoever a top designer is in the field that you in, you telling me you not gonna show off your work? You telling me you're gonna be like this in the cut? You know what? These guys is at this level, so I'm not gonna show my abilities. My confidence level is gonna go down. Because personally, I don't move like that. See, I don't.
No, I understand what you're saying.
How
at
a
the same
player,
time, I don't know. I get what you're saying, but
I don't see how professional.
I'll be real. That like, no, I wouldn't like it.
Me,
I have to work my way.
I would.
I won't
like
feel
if
like
I was that. So y'all know me. I like to run. So y'all know me. I like to run, right? So if I go out here and I see top runners, I'm not going to be like, you know what? I'm going to run this way. No, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to run with them until they leave me because that's just how I am. But this is how I see it, though. When you get to the professional level, right, that confidence to now I know everybody's different. Let me put that out there because I know somebody's gonna say it. When you get up there,
I'm not saying you don't
I
play.
can see.
You know what I'm saying? You still run.
Yeah.
I still play.
Let me get
saying
this point out real quick, Mike.
Yeah.
Let me get this point out. I can see your first couple years, you probably like gonna defer. Okay, I'm still learning. Whoop-de-woo. Bro, when you sign an extension, 125 million, when you sign an extension, Kevin Huerter, 60-some million, I don't need to be worried about you shooting confidence in shooting the ball. We passed that. And that's something as a general manager, you need to know that before you re-sign players because you don't have time when you invest in 125 in JC, 60 into Herder, another 60 into a 40 into Clint Capella. You don't have time to sit there and say, you know what, this dude, he's scared to shoot the ball because it's not, he ain't confident because let me give an example, because John Collins is being guarded by Randall. So he's getting bullied. You don't have time for that. That's something you need to work out.
I agree with you. We don't have time with that though, bro. But what I'm saying, don't think that way to me. I'm not necessarily saying scared and confidence. You feel me? I'm still creating everything like that though. But until I know that I'm truly skilled to be on a certain level, I'm not gonna sit here and try to be presented in a gallery with, you know what I'm saying, some top designers and stuff like that, bro. Like, I'm not finna have that expectations, but I'm gonna still do what I do. Like, you still gonna run. What I'm saying is that the skill wise, a Gallo or Bogey is extremely skillful to the point and known where he's a shooter. He is. There's no denying his skill as his footwork, his release, all the above when it comes to that. Kevin Huerter is a confidence thing. But all right, bro, do you not think that PJ Tucker got handles? I guarantee you catch PJ Tucker at LA Fitz. He crossing people left and right, and he's pulling up jump shots and stuff like that. But he's not doing that in the NBA. It's a different role and stuff like that.
Mike, in the scheme of what you're talking about with DeMond, where does something like this play in? And I wish this was bigger, but this was the plus or minus from a couple of days ago, where all the starters were -20 and worst, and all the bench players were positive 15 or so. Where does that fit in? Like, could you get confidence with some rotations and not others? Is that kind of what you're leaning into?
For the Spurs game goes the way I felt or whatnot, and we always seen the bench in a sense doing better or consistently or being more consistent as veterans. You know what I'm saying? You just don't have the youth there. You hear Trae, you know how Kevin Huerter is. I mean, we can dissect John, but anyway, 4 out of your 5 starters or whatever is all youth players. Your bench is literally all veterans. You don't have no young players coming in on the bench. So they know what to do. They know how to take their time, do what they got to do, and execute versus we still trying to mature with our starters.
But I'm going to tell you something, Lou. I'm going to tell you something. Speaking of confidence and shots, and I said this a couple weeks ago, and it's still, I'm seeing it now. Kevin Huerter and Bogey play more confident when Trae is not on the floor. They get them shots up. When Trae is out and it's Huerter and Bogey, those shots go flying. They active, they move, and they aggressive. When Trae come into the game, they defer, and their shots go down. Kevin Huerter he turned into a straight spot up shooter.
But that goes into what I was saying, bro. Like you talking about you, but people do this in sports, bro. Trae is obviously that alpha person, skill wise.
What I'm saying is, confidence, not confidence. You should always have your confidence. Your teammates should have confidence in you. You should be intimidated by the opposition. Opposition should not waver.
I agree. We're
confidence because you're too focused on confidence. It's reality. Reality of the fact is that players understand their roles. Kevin Huerter and Bogey, I agree with you. They should still try to attack and do their best thing when Trae is on the court. But again, though, this is what people do at times, just unconsciously, and unfortunately in sports at times or whatever. They're not going to overly force things when they know certain hierarchies are the way it is or whatever. They fall back or whatever, like, okay, you got it. Then true, Trae a point guard. But as far as back to, like I said, with John Collins or DeAndre Hunter, when it comes talking about the comfort the confidence is not saying that, oh, I'm scared because of who's guarding me necessarily per se, the person. It's just a realization that I still have to do work. And on this level right now, I'm not there yet. DeAndre Hunter is not there yet where we can give it to him on the wing and he can literally cross somebody and get them off of him so he can pull up and shoot a jump shot.
Do we trade him and some shit for Jaylen Brown?
Huh?
They're not trading Jaylen Brown.
Well, let me get into this next one.
If you want to talk trades, then we should try and get. I already say that we should package these folks or whatever.
Yeah, well, let me get into this next topic because I mean, the fact of the matter is that we're number 2 in offense and we're number 28th in defense. And just recently, Clint Capella kind of had his opinion voiced in a press conference, and I wanted to get into that a little bit. And what he said was this. He said, he goes, I'm not shocked, which is shocking that he says this. He goes, I feel like the team we're more offensive minded. There aren't a lot of guys who take pride on defense, so it's hard. I'm mostly a defensive minded guy, but it's a team thing. It can't just be him or her. It's got to be everyone. So it is what it is.
What's the point of him saying him or her? Like that's that or whatever, or him or him. Never mind. I thought he said him or her. I was about to say that's that stuff, man. They need to be talking to each other. But even so, though, bro, I don't even care about them saying stuff in interviews and stuff like that. Like that's just that roundabout stuff at this point. They need to
a lot of times when they're doing them interviews, man, they get baited and they get baited into shit. A reporter asked them a question and they'll lead on into, and they about basically be boxed in to have to answer. I don't think he was necessarily shitting on his teammates because I don't see him as that type of I don't know him personally, but I don't see him as that type of a person. But based on we all see shit through different lenses. Based on what I see when I watch the games, and I touch on this a lot of times Clint Capella be in a damn pickle because it ain't just Trae. I know I be giving Trae hell. Kevin do it a lot too. I think the only guy that gets significant minutes that'll stick to his man the way he's supposed to is DeAndre Hunter. But Mike already talked about the issues with DeAndre Hunter. Really, when he gets the ball on the offensive side, he can't create because of his handles. That's some shit that can be fixed in the offseason.
By trade.
I mean, you know what? A trade ain't always the solution. Sometimes motherfuckers just got to go out there and put in the extra work. I heard you guys talking earlier about how Steph Curry got tired of getting labeled a certain type of way. He got tired of getting slick bullets. So what he did, he went and got in the gym. He got stronger. That's what worked for him. Whatever works for these guys, they needed to go out there and do it. Now, I want to kind of hit the rewind button just slightly. I don't want to get too much off topic. Back to John Collins. John Collins. I feel as if though, whenever we're in a half court set, because I heard y'all say Nate say he don't run plays, he go off action. When we're in a half court set, some kind of way Collins need to be fed the basketball.
We see it. He can't do nothing with it.
No, they can't get it to him.
Let him speak, man.
Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
I understand. That's why I got quiet. You got a strong feeling about that. He still needs to be fed the basketball. A lot of times he's not even fed the ball, and then that side-to-side motion some kind of way come in. Y'all know what I talk about, the side-to-side. Feed him the basketball. John Collins draws a lot of attention. Even though he hasn't taken over as the number 2, I agree with y'all on that.
I want to talk to you about that. Have you not noticed that recently teams are playing John Collins before he was hurt with guards, and they are allowing the guards to push him around and we are forced to feed him because it's such a mismatch, and we get nothing productive out of it because JC is not a playmaking low post player.
What? Say that again.
I won't say you don't get anything.
What? Are you kidding me?
Do you need me to repeat
Are
this?
you kidding me, bro? For every time you pull that up, I'm gonna tell you what I can do. For every one you pull up, I'll pull up plays to where he got a guard on him, and then everybody not named Trae can't pass him the ball for some reason. I don't know what's so hard about throwing the ball to a 6'9" guy
he isn't holding them
with a guard.
down.
No, bro.
The guard is pushing them around. The guard is pushing him around.
Bro.
To begin with, though, Damon, as a basketball player, I'll tell you this straight up, though, bro. Entry pass is a lost art in basketball. I'll tell you that straight
I agree
up.
with that.
When Dwight Howard was here with Dennis Schroeder. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying that the entry pass is a lost art in basketball across the board, period. It is crazy to me. I understand what you're saying. That junk is frustrating. It is. But you said Trae, outside of Trae, but Trae is a point guard and he know how to pass or whatever in a sense, though. But like I said, we saw Dennis miss Dwight Howard plenty of times, doggone it, in great position when he was there.
And I'm saying that it's hard. They can't get him the ball, right? But now what I will agree on is when y'all say, okay, Collins, he don't need to get the ball at the 3-point line at this time because he can't do nothing from there besides shoot the three. Okay, he can't attack, so teams already know they can go out there and play him out there. So he does need to work on that part of his game. But don't sit here and say we don't get nothing, because I see plenty of time they throw it to Collins and he do that turnaround J, which is money.
In rhythm it is, but other than that,
money.
He can't reset it. He can't readjust it. He can't play off of it.
Listen, just watch the next 3 or 4 games when Collins get back. I don't know how long he's gonna be out. Watch the next 3 or 4 games. You already know what type of game he's gonna have. If his first shot is a 3, it ain't gonna be good for him. It's now that's my issue.
Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting take.
Get your ass on the block. Get in rhythm from 2. Get on the block. I don't give a shit if the guy
get on the block, bro.
Huh?
He can't get on the block when Capella in the game.
He can.
Why?
Because Capella has to stay near the paint.
He can, bro. I mean,
he
back in the day,
because what's going to happen is when he try to go down, why do you think that's why they got him standing at the 3-point line?
It's 2 blocks, Damon.
Right. Do you feel that Clint
get on the block?
I feel if you get rid of Clint Capella and you upgrade the center position with a center who can score. I ain't saying he got to score. When I say score, I mean decent moves.
About Sabonis, bro. My feelings is hurt to hear you say this right now.
With decent moves, then I think that helps JC because then you can open it up because guess what? Now you don't have Clint Capella just standing outside of the paint with his man. Even if Clint Capella lead the paint, his man ain't going nowhere because Clint can't shoot. And I think getting a center who has minimum offensive game will help Collins in his low post game. That's what I think. That's my opinion. But you can't tell him get on the block when Collins in the game. I mean, when Buddy in the game.
Based on what I'm hearing, the solution to the problem, as far as John Collins, is to move Clint Capella because he's in the way offensively. Okay, let me say something. All right, what's going to happen on the defensive end? Who's going to guard Trae's man when he don't feel like playing defense that night? That's my
well, no, bro, no. We just speaking on bro. We just speaking on the. I'm just speaking on the offensive side. I'm not talking about on the defensive side. That's a whole
that's got to change, anyways.
I'm just speaking on the offensive side. I'm not talking about the defense.
See, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm thinking of just regular basketball, bro. It's 2 blocks. He can get on the block, Clint on the other side. You get the ball in the post. Your butt needed to have some hook shots, some up and unders, because if you do that and then Clint man help over, it's an easy little pass to Clint for a dunk. This is
what JC can't do. This is what JC can't do. JC can't open up his arms away from that block, have him toss it away from it closer to the 3-point line, catch it there, turn his back, and then get back to that block. There is almost nobody in the league that he can back up and get back into that block to where he can then have a layup as a turnaround move. He just can't do it.
You know what, bro? If you think about like the 90s and early 2000s, like, bro, it's like everybody wasn't shooting threes like that. The bigs. So they had to make it work.
You know what? You could say all that, Lou. You could say all that, but it don't change nothing for us. That shit don't change nothing for us. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why though.
You see Gallo?
Because Gallo's not efficient.
It doesn't
Gallo
matter, but he's got the skill
Gallo-
set. I'm talking about the skill set.
Gallo takes some of the worst shots with his back against the
Yes,
basket.
I agree.
Looking
I
at
agree.
the basket.
One thing
That's
about
an
Collins,
example of comfort, though.
one thing
Gallo
about
is
Collins,
comfort
no,
of
that's an
comfort.
example
That's
of
why he
stupidity.
takes those look like
That's
bad shots.
stupidity. Some of them shots
You
he
can
take
call
is
it stupidity, though, bro. But
But I'm gonna
Kobe
tell you like
won't
this.
pull up from
Do you
anywhere.
see what it opens? Do you see all the moves that it opens up for him? Do you not see all those layups he gets from going up and under? It's from him being able to do that shot.
I done seen Gallo
Well,
hit some tough
what I'm
shots.
telling
though,
you
bro.
this though, Lou, is this. You
Okay.
say he can't do all that, but he still is efficient. That's why that doesn't change. That doesn't change nothing for us.
I think what it
'Cause he's
changes is
already
that we
an
have to go. We have to
he's already an
identify
efficient
a Brandon.
scorer.
We have to identify a Brandon Ingram type of player and bring him into the fold. We need a number two that is not John Collins. John Collins is no longer considered our number two ever again
here's the
moving
problem.
forward, no matter
I
how
think
good he
John
gets.
Collins-
Period.
Okay, you know what, Lou? Okay, you can have that opinion, but I'm gonna tell you this: we discussing the wrong thing. That's gonna help the Hawks. A number two is not gonna help us right now. You know what's gonna help us right now? Two niggas that can play
Defense.
fucking defense on the perimeter. That's what's gonna fucking help us.
We number two in offense, right?
Yeah,
number-
we can score the ball, bruh. That's why I keep
we're
saying.
asking.
We
Man,
discussing
we
the
can score the
wrong
ball
thing.
because of one person.
I don't get it.
All right.
We're asking
We can
for a
score the
number
ball
two.
to one person.
We asking for a number two. We asking for a number two guy, but we number two in offense.
Hey man, that
Offensive
just
efficiency.
that,
Listen,
that,
we
that, it's
number
a
two.
lie.
Hey, Chauncey, we number two in offense efficiency. We number three in 3-point shooting. We shoot threes at a 38% clip. And these cats is like, we need a nigga who can get on the block.
It's
No, we need a nigga who can play the
It's fool's
defense
gold.
on
It's
the
fool's
perimeter.
gold because
Well,
when I
can we
see
talk
when I
about-
see
It
this
ain't
team
fool's
and this
gold.
roster,
Okay.
yes it is, because when we get into a real situation, meaning both teams playing good defense, both teams there down the stretch, we are still trade two dependent. Simple as that. And
We
yes,
gonna
I will
always
want
be
somebody.
trade dependent.
I will want another
We gon-
offensive star
Bro.
who can also play some defense. I ain't asking
just
for
like you
nobody
say,
to come
Mike.
in here and on defense.
It's like
I'm
it's
not
like
asking
you
for
say,
that.
Mike.
And again,
It's
I'm
like
not
you say.
picking on John Collins. Let me finish this because I'm about to get
Go
up
ahead.
out of here. But I ain't picking
Go
on
ahead.
John
All right, Mike,
Collins.
you gotta stay.
I said package John Collins with the bogey and the Kevin or DeAndre. Go get you a legitimate superstar on this team. I don't care what position they play, along with all these ass load of picks we got. Throw that in there to it. Go get us a legit star to go along your actual star and Trae, and you fill it in with other hard-nosed players, every single other person. I don't care who it is. I agree with you. We need defenders. I'm still not getting away from that. I feel you. We need more hard-nosed defenders, but at the same time, currently as whatever, I still know that we still need somebody that we can also look at the Bucks. You feel me? You have Giannis, but Middleton go get his, even though they've been a top defensive team with a whole bunch of hard-nosed people. You got the Phoenix Suns and Chris Paul and Devin Booker. We don't have that. I still agree.
And they also have
We
elite
still
defense.
need that other thing. No, I'm not
They
disagreeing.
also have
bro.
elite
I'm not
defense.
disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying reconstruct
And they
the
have-
roster, starting with the John Collins, a DeAndre, and a Bogey. I'm naming more than John Collins, y'all. I'm naming more than him. We just got to do something. That's all I'm saying, y'all. We got to do something. I feel like we need to reconstruct the roster, that we need to go another route. We way too finesse. I agree with you, Damon. We need more elite defenders. But I'm just saying, in the midst of getting us elite defenders in, we need somebody else who solidified now. Ain't no more if Kevin get confident or DeAndre develop handles or this and that. No, a legit like last year, bro. When you was talking
Mike, I
about
want to bring this up real quick.
we should have doggone packaged all them fools, and like I said right now, for DeMar DeRozan, and filled the roster up with hard-nosed players.
Mike, I want to bring this up real quick. What do you think about us not playing Jalen Johnson in this situation?
I mean, y'all knew
He ain't
last
ready.
year at the beginning of the season, man. I mean, we were a contending team, and he played a position where, like, John Collins never hurt. Gallo been here, and we got DeAndre. I mean, it's kind of hard. And then you got Nate, too. At this point, it's like, hell, try something, though. But that's what I thought at the beginning of the season. I understood it coming into the season.
Gotcha. And I think Chauncey's going to have some opinion on that as well. But the other thing is can we still be mad at Travis Schlenk this year for the GM moves or the non-moves, or is this also now, or is this all on now Landry Fields' shoulders?
This on Travis' shoulders. He the one that came up with these deals, man.
He the one who did the deal. Landry Field he was the assistant GM.
So when does our Irie switch over to him?
Man, listen, at the end of the day, Travis Slink is the president of basketball operations. Everything run through him. No matter what Landry Fields wants to do, you have to get it signed off by Travis Slink. Okay? Travis Slink, he didn't do nothing to make the team better in the offseason. Okay? All he did was re-sign our dudes, extend dudes, and then go get 2 sorry players and 1 good defender. Okay? And we know who they are. He didn't really do nothing. And I think he played strictly off of, like I told somebody, I think I said it in my video, he, just like the rest of us, he drunk the Kool-Aid from that run last year.
But when you have a rookie, especially one like Jalen Johnson, and we have a deficiency, couldn't you just tell him, hey, you want to play, you got to focus on this thing? And then he goes out in practice and he goes out and defends Trae, then runs over, defends Bogey, then runs over, defends DeAndre, and then he gets some burn, right? Isn't that how rookie playing time should work, though? Like, hey, focus on this. You do a little bit good in practice. I'm going to get you in the game to do that specific thing.
But it's all about your situation. It's your situation. Like the dude put that stupid Twitter post, bro. They wouldn't even have Kuminga or Wiseman if Clay and them don't get injured and they suck for the year. That's why I be telling people they act like Golden State was a bad team, right? So now, guess what? When the season start, Clay still hurt, Draymond in and out the rotation, so that gives those players opportunity. People want to play let me tell you something, Lou. And keep it a buck. How many people you saw say, hey guys, play Jalen Johnson the first 30, 60 days of the season? You ain't see nobody screaming, play the rookies.
Right.
Okay? Nobody. And that's what I'm saying. People only want the rookies to play right now because a lot of fans, they're scared and they're desperate. That's why they're begging for the rookies. And then your situation dictates. Bro, when you sign Collins to that extension, bro, he's your starter, hands down. When you sign Gallo and you paying him 20, he's going to play. Let's not pretend money don't got nothing to do with playing time until you you have to completely go out there and just mess it up for like half a season before you lose your spot. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, Damon, because the real elephant in the room, and you're right about JC, the real elephant in the room, and if you go back to our earlier shows, we talked about who's our number 2, and we all pretty much wanted Hunter to assume that role for this year. And he has not developed in the way that we thought. He's missed a lot of open shots. His defensive effort has been, good and then bad, not consistent, and he's also fallen a victim to these referee and, being baited into, being worried about what the refs are doing. Is he someone that you'll start seeing people give up on, or is this someone where we have to show extreme patience with no matter what? It's ride or die with him. Because if he becomes a number 2, it solves all our problems, right?
Well, this is the thing, Lou. This is the thing. And that's why I said, making that run to the conference final it's a gift and a curse. You make the run to the finals. What happens is now expectations go up. No one gave a hell about what Hunter was doing last year. You see what I'm saying? No one was worried about his development last year because technically we wasn't supposed to be contending, right? We were just, hey, please, can we make the play-in game? Can we make the 8th seed? So expectations, now how can I say it? Our expectations doesn't rush or speed up a player's development. Let's keep it real. Hunter only got how many years in the league? 3, 4, if that? So, I mean,
with a lot of time missed.
So besides like your superstar players who just come into the league and butt from day one, a lot of the star players, some of them don't break out until year 3, 4, and 5. You know what I'm saying? Look at people wanting to trade for Jeremy Grant. He in year 7. He just broke out when he went to Detroit 2 years ago. Took him 5 years. So, when I sit back and I just look and be like, you know what? He has only been in the league 3 years. then I see it differently than if I'm just a fan like, man, well, I wish he could do this, do that. Because I think a lot of us, we see the potential. We see what could happen. You know what I'm saying? We see it, but that our expectations doesn't speed up nobody's development. You feel me?
Yes. Yes, I do, man. And we got a game today. This is 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, so it'd be 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And what do you see in this game? Is this one of those games we have to absolutely have?
Yeah, we have no choice. We have to win every game. We need to play. Obviously, we're not going to win every game, but we have to play every game.
Right?
Like
we're in
our
the
back
playoffs,
is
right?
against the wall.
We're officially in playoff mode, right?
If today we be in the playing game.
Right, but no,
Yeah,
I'm saying
like we have no choice.
mindset for the guys. It's got to be playoff mode, right?
But you know what? Games like the Orlando game, this is the games we trick off. Like we should have won that Dallas game. I don't want to hear no excuses. When the other team first of all, they missing 2 starters. Then when they star player has to sit a whole quarter and you make up 0 ground,
right?
That's unacceptable.
Yep.
And the reason I'm harping on these games because we dug ourselves such a hole. Like we don't have time to see what Jalen Johnson could do, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Right. People playing for their playoff. Hell, who knows? Nate may be coaching for his fucking job. Who knows what Mr. Wrestler is discussing since he gave out all that money now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't fault Nate. Because as a coach, you like, I need to win the game. I don't have time to see what he can do. Now, I'm not saying Jalen Johnson can't help us. I'm just saying if I'm in Nate's mind frame and we're underachieving according to the general manager and the owner, then I'm coaching for my job. So I'm playing the dudes who have shown me that they can make it happen once before. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. We in playoff. Every game a playoff game right now.
Yep.
Every game. And then I don't know why people keep saying get to the 6th seed. To me, it don't even matter, bro. At this point, we just need to get in. Long as we can avoid.
It doesn't matter. I think what I would like to see is us playing good defense going into the playoffs. Because if not, then it's going to be. I don't want to get embarrassed in the first round. You know what I mean?
Defense. Bro, go look, Lou. I challenge you, man. When you get some free time, all the losses we've had, just go look at the games we done played in February. Look at the losses, and then look at the 3-point shooting we allowed the other team. Bro, you're gonna be like, what how we even in these games? Because that's the biggest differential.
Listen, Damon, look at the game. And when you see an open shot and us running out at it, pause it and rewind and see how that starts. See how it's a pick down below where somebody has to hedge down or somebody's cutting through the lane where our perimeter guys go down. It's the philosophy that we're just not executing. We're not good enough to do whatever the fuck they're trying to do. We're not doing it right because we're leaving way too many people wide open. But when it comes to just defending, we have guys that move their hips and stay in front and engage. Like we have decent perimeter guys. We have enough to do good. I think we don't have any enforcer down low that scares anybody in making great drives. Like we have a lot of different things. It's not just we have bad defenders. We have good defenders.
Go look at Cleveland game, bro. Garland, he got so much penetration. I was like, what are we doing? He was attacking the basket at will. That's how Kevin Love was sitting, be wide open, all off Garland's penetration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
For us, it starts with our wings. This is my thought. This is my theory. I think these teams scout our team, and they know our weakness. Okay. Now, as a whole, we suck as a team defensively, but as a weakness, our number one weakness is the perimeter defending. Because guess what? Unless we playing a Jokic or Embiid, their bigs don't kill us on the stat sheet. Okay. It's the wings that's lighting our ass up. Malik Monk hit us up for 30, wing player. When we played Toronto, Trent Jr., 30. When we were just playing The Mavericks, Jalen Brunson, 28. Bro, I can go all day with it.
Oh, I've
And
seen it. I've seen
when
it.
we fixed that, and this is what Nate need to tell them: don't help. Don't help. If they throw it down low to whoever Clint Garden, if you throw it down low, that means they got a star big. He gonna get his regardless.
Yeah, but NBA defense is even more complex because it's not just playing man to man. It's like anticipating certain moves because you know where their plays are, and so positioning your guys to be able to break away from just a traditional man to then cover a space to prevent them from getting to their sweet spots. Like, it's more complex. Like, they're just not doing anything to effectively affect the other team, and it looks terrible. We're always running around.
And that's twofold. That go on the coach.
Right.
But that also go on the players. Like, do they watch film? Do they scout their opponent? Do they scout their opponent? Because you know what, man? Prime example, LeBron James, right? I'm sure you've seen this clip millions of times. When LeBron tell the other team what play they about to run, he told the bench, he said, y'all about to do this, so you need to go and sub this dude into the game. Even Iman Shumpert, when he did an interview, he said it. They said, what made LeBron special? He does so much studying, and he told a story where he knew the plays for the other team. So the players themselves have a responsibility. Are they saying, like in football, like Deion Sanders be like, okay, I'm guarding that number one receiver. Guess what I'm finna do? Watch all his film. Deion say before the game, I'm watching film.
Yeah,
are our guys watching
any
film?
small tendency.
Yeah, are our guys doing that? Because
I don't know, because this is the complaint overall, right? Because they all just got paid, and now are they all too involved in their own personal private enterprises, or are they back to being Hawks players?
I think I agree with I think Capella said it. I think them dudes thought they were just gonna make the playoffs again. That's what I really think. I think they really thought they were just gonna breeze through this mug. And when you take what Capella said, and then you take what Trae said about the season being boring, it adds up. And guess what? And now look at our record. Like I tell people, our record, that's who we are. We are a below 500 ball club. That's what we are. After 50 games, that's a plenty enough sample size to know your team. That's who we are.
Yeah, and you can give or take 1 or 2 games, and you're still below 500.
Exactly. That's who we are, man.
So you're gonna get into doing a preview game or a preview show for this one?
No. Not today, man, because the tip is in like 30 minutes, man.
Yep,
So
the tip's in a little bit. We're about to get in on that. You doing any betting on this one?
Man, hell no. I don't bet on the Hawks. Hell no.
Yeah,
the motherfucker is inconsistent as hell. You'll think we'll destroy the Magic. We come out there and be down 20.
Well, I was hoping you'd take over Mike's place. Mike's usually my betting guy. He's usually betting something. But yeah, so what you obviously predicted what a 10,
I'm sure we favorite.
You predict a 10 to 15 point win?
Again?
You predict about a 10, 15 point win for the Hawks?
Yeah.
Who do you think goes off for them?
I'm hoping that for them?
Mm-hmm.
You said for them or for us?
Yeah, for them.
Watching out for Bamba. Watching out because he got that length. On the boards. Watching out for Cole Anthony. And it's another guy they got. Damn, I can't think of. But you got to watch out for them boys because them boys got something to prove. They got stuff to prove. They trying to earn minutes, contracts, especially somebody like a Mo Bamba who didn't get extended this year. So he looking for a contract. He trying to get something good on tape. And what we don't need is for the Hawks to come out there on some bullshitting around with these stupid ass shots. What we need to do, we need Trae to come out here. And what he need to understand, come out here, put them away early.
Yeah.
Take away their hopes and dreams. Don't let them get confidence, or guess what's going to happen, Lou? We're going to give up another 40 points like we did to the Spurs, who we should have been blowing them out.
Now, are you scared of this, though, of us maybe getting a lead too early and that's kind of like, all right, losing sight of the game and then getting close and then it being too close of a scramble at the end?
Man, listen, at this point, I'd rather have the lead. Because I don't want them to have no hope. Now, obviously, we know teams go make runs. We already know that's going to happen. But I'd rather, get a 20-point lead. They make a little 7-0 run, quick timeout, regroup, maintain a double-digit lead. Bro, it's the reason why these dudes only won like 9 games. You feel me? So, I mean, they're not a good team. So we cannot afford to lose this game. And that's what Nate need to be telling these guys. And then you know what else? He need to get off that Zen shit too, man. Sometimes he be too relaxed for me.
Agreed. I'm starting to really be like, yo, dude, I heard this exact same soundbite last year in the playoffs, dude. You gotta pep that shit up, man.
Yeah, he just too relaxed. Like, what's the saying?
No urgency.
No, you take on the role of the leader or the coach or some shit like that. You take on their attitude or some shit like that.
I agree. And he doesn't seem like, the thing is, like, he's probably smart enough to be processing all of this, but the fact that he's not showing everybody the urgency that you need to be able to process that much shit,
and I don't think our team, since we're still, and people forget, we're still a young team, bro. Our core is 23, 24 years old average.
Mhm.
I don't think they're at that level, the professional level, to where they don't need, your star player, your LeBrons and your superstars. They don't need nothing to get them amped. They gonna find some on their own to get them amped up.
Yeah, and Trae's usually like that. But it's going to be about 2 or 3 years before they really do all hit maturity.
Well,
And the thing is like, though, we got Trae for that length, so we now have to build teams around him. Like all the other teams have had to try to build the team around a Paul George or a Kawhi or a on and on and on. You still have to build these teams. I mean, every year it's a crapshoot because you got to build it with the right guys. And we have yet to figure out what's the right type of guy for us. And I think effective playmakers are effective, but you got to have guys that know how to play good defense. I don't know. It's complicated,
but
yeah, man, I've been really enjoying your going live, your YouTubes, so if you want to shout out anything,
come on the show, man. I do the post game live. Come on up there, dog.
I'm definitely down. So yeah, let's maybe make that happen,
man. Until I can get the little phone lines going. I do the video line now.
No, I got you. Well, we'll talk a little bit after this, and I'll show you. Maybe you can use go out to a bunch of different accounts at once. So, but anyways, man, you got anything else to plug? I know you're always smooth with it.
Nah, man. Yeah, well, just y'all, hey, Hawks fans, y'all come tap in with your boy. We didn't do a pregame today, but do I need to? It's the fucking Orlando Magic.
That's what I was saying.
If we don't beat them, the post-game live gonna be lit tonight because I'm gonna be highly upset. Okay, and I ain't gotta work tomorrow because tomorrow my birthday. So I'm gonna be pissed off if we don't win this game tonight. It's like I was when we lost to them fucking Spurs. I was so damn mad, bro.
Hey, what's that make you, a Pisces?
Huh?
Does that make you a Pisces?
No, I'm a Aquarius.
Oh, Aquarius, okay. I only know like 3 of them.
I'm a ladies man, dog.
Well, all right, man. Well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna catch it, and if we win or lose and you go live, I will catch you, and we'll definitely chop it up about how good we looked.
Yeah, don't come in the comments, bro. Come on the show.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about on the show for sure. Like I said, stay with me after I close out the show, and we'll chit chat about that. But anyways, that will do it for today's show. Join us next week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the podcast, tell your friends, like, share, and subscribe the podcast. Drop comments and find us on all our socials, and check out our sponsors. We are for the fans, by the fans. And with that said, have a great day.